Hello everybody, I'm Rusty. I want to welcome you to Island Breeze Tropicals. So today we're going to be having another episode of the Bromeliad Family Tree, and we're going to be looking at the genus Hohenbergia. So you know what? The sun is shining, the island breeze is blowing. It's time that you and I got growing. Come on, let's have some fun and let's take a look at the genus Hohenbergia. So today we're going to be taking a look at a really cool genus of bromeliad called Hohenbergia. Now there are only 37 species and about as many cultivars that are registered, so there are not a lot of plants. And quite honestly, I don't have a lot of them, but I'm going to show you what I do have, and I think you're really going to like them. So this is Hohenbergia edmundoai. It's a species that can be found in Brazil. I'm going to try and get a close-up of the rosette because it has some beautiful arming on the leaves. So I'm going to try and get a better close-up of this, and what I really want to show you is really two things. I want to show you the coloring, and I want to show you the wonderful arming on these leaves. As we get closer, I think you can see that there is a bit of a silver sheen to it. That is a tomentum. We have a Bromeliad anatomy episode asking what a tomentum is. You might want to take a look at that. It's in the playlist. But take a look at the arming on these leaves, and it really is a wonderful architectural statement on these leaves. And yeah, they're mean, and that may be why I like them. Now you can see a little bit of purple color in there, and I have been told that this will get even more purple the more sun that it gets. So this will darken up quite a bit. This plant will take an awful lot of sun. It comes from Brazil. And I'm guessing that this will get to be even bigger than this if I give it more room to grow. This looks very similar to what I just showed you, but this is Hohenbergia leopoldo-horstii. It is another species from Brazil. It has a very similar color to the edmundoai, but it has a different shape in the rosette. Now, this particular Hohenbergia will take an awful lot of sun, and it will also get much darker. So I'm going to get on in there. I'm going to show you one of the differences. So you can see that the architecture is different than the edmundoai. So I'm going to try and get in there, and I'm going to show you that that's not the only difference. Now the color is similar to it, but take a look and look at the arming on the leaves where the edmundoai was quite pronounced. The arming on the leaves of this leopoldo-horstii are much, much smaller. And it's got some beautiful color. I'm thinking this is going to get quite dark in full sun. This is a very colorful Hohenbergia. I love this plant here in Southwest Florida. It really grows in absolute full blazing sun from dawn until dark. This is Hohenbergia Castellanosi variegated, and as you can see, it's got a beautiful yellow color to it, and it becomes more and more yellow with some red tinging on the leaf tips if you give it more sun in our latitude. And I'm going to go on in here and show you a little bit more of it, and I want to show you that really beautiful variegation, and that variegation really stands out So the green will actually become even more yellow-green in full sun, and the plant will actually start glowing in the sun down here in southwest Florida where I live. So I would not hesitate to grow this with no protection whatsoever. And we'll back up a little bit here and show you the whole plant again. And it really has some nice color, wouldn't you say? So we've had an episode that I titled Bromes with Teeth about the arming that some bromeliads have. And this Castellanosi variegated really doesn't have that bad an arming on the leaves, but I want to show you something. So even though it's not armed on the leaves, I want you to take a look right there and see those pups coming out. They are about as sharp as anything I've ever seen. And when you trim your Castellanosi, you have to be careful of those spines. Well, there is an emergent pup. I'm going to get around the camera and I'm going to point to it. So when it comes to different architecture, I have to tell you this Hohenbergia is really one of my favorites. This is called Hohenbergia pennae. It is another species, and it's another species that also hails from Brazil. But what I want to point out is the beautiful architecture that you see, and it is more ampule-like. It also has about the same color as the edmundoai and also the leopoldo-horstii. But take a look. The leaves are really, really elegant. It has this wonderful upright form. I'm going to try and get in there. Let's see if we can get a better view. Now that has a pup. And as you can see, it doesn't have much arming on the leaves. And it has a really nice purple undertone to the color. And again, the arming, it's there, but it is not as pronounced as some of the others. And I'm going to show you something else that this plant has. And as you can see, this Hohenbergia pennae has an inflorescence. I'm going to see if I can get some better color in here. And I don't see it so much in the viewfinder, but it actually has some red in it. So this is a really nice Hohenbergia. Now, it is not as big as the others I've just showed you. Now, I'm not really sure if this is simply an immature plant or if it is its adult size. This is called Hohenbergia carla. Now, Hohenbergia carla is a cultivar of Hohenbergia magnispina. At least there seems to be some agreement. But if I say that, there's also some question. But that's about as close as I think we're going to get to it. I'm going to go on in here. Let's take a look at it. Has some nice arming on the leaves. Now this variegation is marginated, and it has a nice green color. Now I'm going to grow this on and then show you guys after a month or two what it looks like. I don't think I want to put this in full blazing sun all day long, but I'm guessing that it may get to be a little lighter than this if we give it some more light. If you take a look at the leaves that are on the right, you can see that they have a pretty dark green center to them. And I'm wondering what that will look like if they get more sun. And you can see it's got a lovely margination on there and also striping in the middle of the leaf. So, okay, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed looking at this episode of the Bromeliad Family Tree and the genus Hohenbergia. Now, Hohenbergias come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes and colors, and I'll bet you'd like to find one of those for your collection. So, no matter where you are, I hope your sun is shining. I hope you have an island breeze blowing. I know that you need to keep growing, have lots of fun. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.